Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, smarks and marks all over the world.
Grab a seat or take it easy on your feet as we set up our gear. Lend us your ear.
Because your boys, King, MIILI, and J Classic are about to put on some podcast action.
So get psyched and turn to the smart side.
Cause Smark Psychology Podcast starts now.
Yo. I said, yeah. You hear the beat coming on in, you hear the echo, so you already know, As y'all pouring in, go ahead and share this thing up everywhere, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. How y'all doing on YouTube? What's cracking? What's happening? It is your boy. It is the one, the only, your one true king. You see the crown, you see the money. Red cups up to you, it's King Mac MIILI, baby, and we here for another episode of Smark Psychology Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get this up on my shoulder the right way. Yeah. We got a whole lot to talk about today. You know what I'm saying? We go ahead and cut off this echo. Y'all know how I love to do the echo thing, get the mood started, get everything popping, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, welcome to Smark Psychology Podcast. As y'all are coming in, make sure y'all share this on Facebook. Facebook, what's happening? Make sure y'all share this on YouTube. YouTube, what's happening? Make sure y'all share this on Twitter. Repeat after me, Twitter, what's happening? What's happening to everybody listening over on the audio side, on Spotify, and Anchor and Apple Podcasts, what's going on? If y'all need to see the visuals of your boy, y'all already know what to do. Go ahead and slide on over to the YouTube side, you know what I'm saying? To the smart side. But yeah, man, it is Wednesday. Wrestling took place today. AEW Dynamite. I will be selling and no selling for that. So, you know, stay tuned. But, this beat right here. Hey, yo. Shout out to the birthday boy. He may not be here right now, but red cups up to J Classic. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday, my brother. Happy birthday. Enjoy yourself. We will see you next week. You know what I'm saying? I'm here with the last show of the week. So as y'all pouring in, y'all already know what to do. Make sure y'all hitting me up in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Facebook, YouTube. I get all that. Twitter, still figuring it out. You can comment, but I don't know where them comments is going. You know what I'm saying? So, for all y'all listening on all your side, leave them comments up on them Spotify's and them Anchors and all that, and we'll get to them and, you know, just have a conversation about some wrestling. But as I get to go and turn off this background music, shout outs to J Classic one more time. That beat is sick, man. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into some dirt sheet talk. Oh shit, the paparazzi, they want the scoop, You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to Khan yesterday, had him on the show. Throw that up there real quick. If y'all haven't had a chance to check that out, go ahead and check that out. Cool brother, friend of the pod, indeed. You know, I was trying to give my dirt sheet talk scoops and everything from him, and he wasn't giving up nothing. Wasn't getting up a damn nada. It's all good. The brother is good in the ring, making a statement, as we all know and we all see. So if you don't know about Khan, go ahead and check him out on yesterday's episode. Get familiar with your boy because he's up and coming. But yes, the dirt sheets is talking. And for today, you know what I'm saying, pulled up a little bit. And since we have SmackDown coming up, I might as well get my WWE talk out the way because there's a lot of goodness to speak upon when it comes to AEW Dynamite for tonight. WWE. White Rabbit, White Rabbit. We have not been talking about it because I don't know why we haven't been talking about it, but we just haven't been talking about it. But there has been a lot of talk going around the rumor mill as who this White Rabbit would be. And just like everybody else, we can figure that it is going to be Bray Wyatt. This image here is the newest mask or template of a mask that was made by the man who also made Bray Wyatt's Fiend mask, and also there was a Huskus Pig Boy mask out there somewhere that we may or may not see. But Bray Wyatt coming back into the fold is what everybody seems to be thinking and seems to be saying. We got a lot of QR codes on this past Monday Night Raw. A lot of QR codes, and if you strike that QR code, it brings up a video, promo video of little Hangman game, Who Killed the World, and the little rabbit is bouncing around to all the letters to fill out the Hangman puzzle. And the first couple of letters that the rabbit hopped on spelled out demon. Feed Your Head. They've been playing Feed Your Head all throughout SmackDown and Raw during commercial breaks and before shows and after shows. And we see people throwing up the lights that usually accompanied Bray Wyatt during his walk down to the ring. So a lot of talk, a lot of talk. 9/23 happens to be in 2 days, which would make it Friday. Friday night SmackDown. People are expecting to see Bray Wyatt. And I will say this, don't be disappointed if you do not see him. We have a habit of creating an atmosphere and then becoming upset with what we get because the atmosphere that we created. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on whatsoever. It just is what it is. As a fan, just sit back and enjoy the show and get an opportunity to get off them dirt sheets and really pop and mark out for a moment. You know, bring about a moment that brings chills. You know, there's a lot of things that people talk about, a lot of things that people don't talk about. And we'll be getting into that because I definitely received some chills for today. But I will say this about Bray Wyatt. Now, you had Mick Foley in the WWE. Of course, Mick Foley has made his name well known around the ways, a couple of different companies, but he had different personas: Cactus Jack, Dude Love, Mankind, and then Mick Foley, the four faces of Foley. You feel me? Why cannot, why cannot Bray Wyatt do the same thing? He's much more. He's just as gifted in the ring, if not a little bit more gifted. And he's so creative, so creative. I can see a moment in time where he could possibly be the Buzzards cult leader, Bray Wyatt. You know what I'm saying? Also being the Funhouse Bray Wyatt, also being the Fiend, also being whatever this White Rabbit is going to be, also being a Pig Boy Huskus. Like, why not just bring all these characters from the Funhouse to life? Alexa Bliss made a couple of remarks and a couple of character changes subtly, very subtly. The lights went out during her main event match this past Monday night on Raw against Bailey. So, and she reported that she loves working with Bray Wyatt. He is a genius. So, you know, hopefully it is Bray Wyatt. Hopefully it is Bray Wyatt. We'll get a little bit more and see what's going on SmackDown once that comes through. But yeah, the wrestling world is excited for the White Rabbit. Hopefully it is Bray Wyatt and we are not disappointed. But like I said, don't be disappointed if it does not turn out to be Bray Wyatt this Friday. I wouldn't say wasted on an episode of SmackDown or Raw. You have a pay-per-view coming up, Extreme Rules, I believe. Not a bad pay-per-view for Bray Wyatt to be showing his face and coming up. So, you know, there's that. Next in this dirt sheet news, we have several wrestling news reports that several Impact Wrestling stars may be leaving the company, potentially jumping to WWE or AEW. That is crazy. The article reads as such: former WWE / Impact Wrestling referee Brian Hebner welcomed JBL as his guest this week on his podcast. Before speaking with JBL, Hebner gave his thoughts on some current wrestling events, including the Logan Paul being announced as Roman Reigns' opponent at Crown Jewel. Jesus Christ, boo, 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 boo. Um, You heard my comments about that and everything. It's going to be a good match, but just really, really, we cash grabbing, giving the prince what he want, whatever. Anyways, my honest answer, stupid. I thought it was kind of a joke, but I get it. I know how it works to make money. Roman Reigns will be great to get the best out of him. I hope they keep it short. Me too. I am trying to figure out how he got that title shot. What did he do to get that title shot? My question exactly as well, Brian Hebner. I'm really lost in that. You know how I am. I'm a very detailed person when it comes to storylines, and there is no one is there, or did I miss something? There's plenty of other people that could be in that position. Hebner was also asked about his thoughts on some of the impact contracts coming up shortly. I didn't see any of the contracts, obviously, but there are some words that I've had with that I've received from a few of the guys that were in limbo as far as what they are doing. I knew they signed 6 month deals, and there were quite a few of them, to be honest, that I was told about. That looks like October is when these deals run out, sometime in October. It's going to be really interesting time for Impact as far as their biggest pay-per-views, or one of their biggest pay-per-views of the year, Bound for Glory. I'm really interested to see if they are able to retain the guys and girls that they have under these deals coming up, or if they will be able to sign them through Bound for Glory and then go from there. So it's going to be interesting time from Impact at this point on whose contracts are coming up. He goes on to say, I do not want to discuss it. Sounds familiar, but it's because it's not my business. I don't even know if what I'm saying is accurately 100% correct as far as the people I'm thinking about. That's why I do not want to do that. I do not want to say anything out of turn. Now, things have changed quite a bit since the new regimen has come in, so maybe some of the thought process has changed a little bit. I know several, and when I say several, I'm talking about 4 to 6 guys who really, really wanted to stay with Impact to see if they can work something out there because they were really happy with the travel and with the money and all that kind of thing. I know there's people there that are extremely excited to stay. I just don't know if it will be that way with the new regimen because nobody wanted to go to WWE except for the money. I mean, that's what it was. Now people want to go because they feel like it's a totally different place and not being run by Vince McMahon and that fuckface Johnny Ace. One of the names who could be leaving Impact is Maria Kanellis. She revealed this week that her Impact per appearance deal expires next month, and she's open to signing with AEW or WWE. Hopefully, that includes her husband as well. If they go back to WWE, I just say don't give me any more of this is the greatest love I've ever known because I don't want any of that. I actually miss the miracle. Mike Bennett, bring me Mike Bennett, not Mike Kanellis, but wherever they end up, and there's a couple of other people, talented people over in Impact that those names will be coming out in the coming months, and we will be figuring out who those people are and getting excited and or not excited for those people coming over to AEW and or WWE. So there is that. Also, we have Tony Khan. Tony Khan making waves, making head waves. You know, he had a locker room talent meeting today. He had a locker room talent meeting today, and y'all already know what was said behind those 4 walls. But if you don't know, let's see if I can find something for you. Maybe Tony Khan said this.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
But nah, really, says here that a backstage news from today's AEW talent meeting, the AEW locker room atmosphere. The officials held a talent meeting backstage at Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York City before tonight's Grand Slam edition of AEW Dynamite. Details from the meeting are limited as of this writing, but Fightful Select notes that the meeting was described as very positive. It effectively served as a pep talk for the roster ahead of another major show for the company. The talent meeting held since All Out have seemed to resonate well with the roster and staff. A longtime AEW talent noted that past 3 weeks have felt much more laid back than how things were in the weeks before All Out. Another veteran talent noted that AEW locker room has been the best and it has been in quite some while over the last 3 tapings. One AEW source used the term addition by subtraction, but would not specify who they meant in that regard. Stay tuned to the WrestlingHeadlines.com for more on tonight's Dynamite. Blase, blase. Pretty damn interesting that spirits were high during that backstage meeting. If you want to know Khan's thoughts on everything happening in AEW, go ahead and check out yesterday's episode. For Khan is signed to AEW and he gives his answer. But yeah, backstage spirits are high within AEW. And yeah, Tony Khan's not taking any shit, and I'm happy for it, I guess. He's also in the news for talking shit about Crown Jewel, and yeah, I'm not going to get into that, but he should not be running his mouth when he has a company to take care of. But yeah, speaking of Tony Khan, he says, expect a lot and you shall not be disappointed. I promise you won't want to miss Grand Slam Supercard. And plus, maybe there is something up my sleeve, as Wrestle Report reports. Tony Khan was teasing a surprise for this week's AEW Dynamite. And boy, oh boy, I had the conversation before the episode started, and I said, you know what, if Tony Khan does not deliver, because he is the man who always gets hyped about surprises every other 2 weeks. If he does not deliver, I am going to ask what is up his sleeve because I need to have it. And talking to Jay Classic, he said that, well, maybe he has him a short sleeve shirt. And I was like, well, if tonight stinks, then that explains it very well because whatever he had up his sleeve was underneath his under armpit. And yeah, but it did not stink. And we will talk about it and say why, you know. So before we get into it, that was all that King McMillie has on Dirt Sheet Talk. So we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Oh shit. No further questions. No further questions. Get the hell up out of here, man. Go on. Driver, take me somewhere else, man. Otherwise, it is time to get into a little bit of sell or no sell, you know what I'm saying, for AEW Dynamite. Go ahead and ring that bell. Oh, go ahead and ring that bell again. Oh, yeah. Sounds good. Super show. But before I get into the super show, I have an image here. Here's what the show card was for tonight. We had the main event of Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson to crown a brand new AEW champion. We had Pac defending his All-American Championship against Orange Cassidy. We had Claudio Castagnoli defending his ROH World Championship against Chris Jericho. We had Swerve in Our Glory defending their AEW Tag Team Championships against the acclaimed Sesame Daddy Ass. And we had Toni Storm defending her interim AEW Women's Championship against Serena Deeb, Athena, and Britt Baker. Betting odds came out before the show, and it read as such: Jon Moxley was a plus 250 underdog, with Bryan Danielson being the favorite to win that match. Favorite Bryan Danielson becoming the new champ. For the intern Women's World Championship, the biggest underdog in the match was Athena. The biggest favorite in the match was Toni Storm. In between, you had underdogs of Britt Baker and Serena Deeb, with Toni Storm pulling out the victory. So it says. For the AEW World Tag Team Championship match, Swerve and Our Glory were the underdog, going in defending against the acclaimed. Let's see, there were more odds. More odds. Pac was a favorite going into his All-Atlantic Championship match. And then against Orange Cassidy, and Claudio Castagnoli was a heavy favorite going into his title defense against a very underdog, Chris Jericho. So, you know, yeah, it's about time to get up in it and Selling no sell for AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. See if I could get this Imiichio really quickie. Where's the bees? Where's the bees? Where'd you put it? There it is. Booyah. Sell or no sell. Let's go ahead and get to it. Go ahead and get to it. All right, so first matchup for the night happened to be for the ROH World Heavyweight Championship, Claudio Castagnoli. I like that I'm getting to learn his name and saying it right. You know what I'm saying? It took a long time to get off of the Cesaro, but I believe I am finally there. Claudio Castagnoli. Castagnoli. I get to say it all together without taking a pause. He was defending his ROH championship against Jericho, Chris Jericho, the Wizard, not the Painmaker, not Lionheart, but the Wizard, Chris Jericho. To start off the match, you know there's the ROH Code of Honor, which Jericho was hesitant on, but he obviously did give the Code of Honor handshake and talked a little bit of shit after that and received numerous uppercuts from Claudio. Damn good match. It was a good match to open the show. Claudio gave at least about 50 or more uppercuts. I've never seen so many uppercuts in one match, but Claudio definitely threw a lot of them in there. Jericho he had got the advantage back in the match, suplexing Claudio off of the apron onto the ringside floor. Might I add, the stage was very short and small. The ringside area was very small as well inside of Arthur Ashe, so there wasn't much space for a lot of spots, but they definitely took those spots to the outside of the ring, this being one of them. Looked like it really hurt. There was another spot where there was a reverse hurricanrana from Chris Jericho to Claudio, and Claudio was getting ready to give him an avalanche power bomb from off of the top rope before Jericho reversed and hit that hurricanrana. Nice spot. Nice spot. There was a low blow, or there was almost a low blow. Claudio blocked it and flipped Jericho into a straight jacket power bomb, which won him the ROH Heavyweight Championship, but it could not put Jericho away in this match. After about 80 more uppercuts, Claudio took a code breaker. Jericho went for the pin. Claudio kicks out. Claudio also survives through the walls of Jericho, does not tap. But yeah, he does not survive the second attempt of a low blow, followed by a Judas effect. And to my surprise, and to every betting man's surprise out there, if you had placed any money on a plus 400 Chris Jericho, ching, ching, hear ye, the money is yours because the championship went ahead and it belongs to Chris Jericho. No honor whatsoever in his victory. But Chris Jericho is now an 8-time world heavyweight champion, going ahead and adding the ROH championship in his collection for the very, very, very first time. Referees, you got to do better. You got to do better. That was the story for the night. Chris Jericho, once again, your new ROH World Heavyweight Champion. And it seems as such as the ROH World Heavyweight Championship and the Pure Championship have switched stables from the Blackpool Combat Club to the Jericho Appreciation Society. Jericho Appreciation Society is out to celebrate with Chris Jericho. There is Daniel Garcia in the back with his Pure Championship, but not as happy as everybody else because there is no honor in how Chris Jericho won his championship. But they host him up high. He throws up the 8, and we are moving on. Jericho, world champion, ROH. Yikes. And yeah, hoping to see something come about with a TV deal for ROH. As Khan has said yesterday, ROH does not have a TV deal yet. Wouldn't let me know if things are in the works, so stay tuned. You never know what's going on. But the Jazz, the Jericho Appreciation Society, has some championships. Sucks for Magic Daddy Ass or whatever his name is, and Angelo Parker or whatever their names are, because they're going to get their ass beat on Friday by Hook and Action Bronze. And so, you know, it is what it is. Next, we get the tag team match. of the AEW World Tag Team Champions, Swerve in Our Glory, Keith Lee, Swerve, Isaiah Swerve, yeah, defending those championships, coming out with Fabulous. There seems to be a trend going on with AEW, and they are coming up in the hip hop realm, the hip hop era. It seems like every other week or every other 2 weeks, there's a familiar music artist involved in the show. So that's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Obviously, they have their album that was released a while ago, and things are cooking up. Seems like hip hop is very real inside AEW. Also, there was I believe, a concert before one of the pay-per-views not too long ago, hip hop concert. They do a lot of thing in the hip hop world. So, maybe I gotta submit some music to them and get in on one of these shows and see what's going on. But they defended those championships against a very over acclaimed. And they also came out with DJ Who Kid by their side. And as you can see in the graphic, Billy Gunn is no longer Billy Gunn. He is straight up daddy ass now. So there is that. But yeah, dope match. Go out of your way to check that match out. Indeed, there was a lot of confusion in between Keith Lee and Isaiah Swerve. Swerve being a pit bull in a sense, and just not giving a damn about anything and just going balls to the wall, and Keith Lee doing his best to reserve him. But Keith Lee hits Hurricanrana off vert to Bowens. Amazing ability that this big man has. There was a moment in time where the Acclaimed were about to scissor inside the ring. Pause, but Swerve wasn't going for that. Drop kicks them in the back of their head. Keith Lee wasn't so happy about that. Swerve and Lee also were getting heavily booed. And the Acclaim were so over. A lot of people were saying that the Acclaim should have been crowned tag team champions at All Out in Chicago, but it did not happen. But we are here in New York, off of Ash Stadium. You know what I'm saying? Things were going their way just a little bit. Very back and forth match indeed. But there was a moment in this match where Swerve had a boombox. And yeah, he tried to smack Bowens with the boombox, but they moved out the way. He ends up hitting Keith Lee. Very interesting. Things got unfolded outside of the ring with Swerve getting him daddy ass's face. He gets shoved. He gets famousered on the outside. They roll him back into the ring, and they hit him with the arrival. I believe that's what that move is called from Bowens. And then Max follows it up with a mic drop, and ding. We have new AEW Tag Team Champions. The Acclaimed have arrived to claim Tag Team Championship gold. Keith Lee did not look too happy. Swerve Scott did not look too happy. And I just realized that I did not sell or no sell for the prior match. So with this match, I am going to combine them and say sell. Chris Jericho becoming a world champion, ROH world champion, obviously is going to bring a lot of eyes to ROH. Hopefully that deal is coming. So sell for that. Also sell for the over Acclaimed becoming new AEW Tag Team Champions. I sell for that awesome match. If you do get an opportunity or some chance to check it out, please do so. Very amazing. They tore the house up. Khan, our bro, was on yesterday, and he talked about how they tore the house down at All Out. Everybody's talking about everything else, medium scrum, where they should have been talking about the action. You pay attention, you'll see some great things, and AEW is doing some great things besides all of the drama and all of the bullshit. But yes, new tag team champions, and they are madly over. There was a slight interview afterwards with FTR, but they were interfered by the Ass Boys. That's a thing. Neither sell nor no sell for that. Following that, we get Yuta coming out, and Yuta is interrupted by MJF. The devil is here, and he says that since you all love him because he did indeed receive a great big pop from the New York crowd. Obviously, he is home. He is home, but he calls everybody devil worshippers since they worship him. Yeah, I don't know about that one, MJF. I rocks with you, but I shall not be called a devil worshiper. So there's that. But Yuta was looking to put over his Blackpool Combat Club members, Brian Danielson and John Moxley, and MJF said he came out to do the same damn thing, but he called them the Blackpool Cockpit Club and some other things and said that they wouldn't be fighting to become the new world AEW champion. They will be fighting to become the man who is going to lose the AEW World Championship to him. Yuta did not like those words as such, and he gives MJF a smack. MJF gives him a smack back, pushes Tony on his ass, shouts at him, and a fight breaks out in between Yuta and MJF until Big William Morrissey comes out and chokes out Willer Yuta. And yeah, so I guess the big man that does whatever he wants to do is doing what he wants to do here, choking out William Yuta, and MJF has another big man protecting him on his route to becoming AEW World Champion. And I'll sell for it. I'll sell for it. I'll sell for it because it is MJF. It is MJF, and becoming world champion is something that's going to take place. It is going to happen. Speaking of MJF, he signed a new contract, not a contract extension, but a new contract on the contract that he has, meaning that he's pulling in just a little bit more money than what he had before. And like I said, he is still going to be up for purchase, I guess you could say. The one with the highest bag or the biggest bag is MJF Services, and he's hoping to go into the campaign for 2024 as AEW World Champion to push those chips up a little bit more. After that, we get hold on. Gotta get a little set the mood just a little bit. Because my TV screen changed quite a bit from unmarvelous to super beyond marvelous, because this lady right here, Jade, appeared. She has a match against Diamante on Rampage, but Dynamite, she graced Dynamite with her presence, along with the rest of the baddies, as you see, Hogan and Miss Gray. But yeah, Diamante said that she wasn't coming alone to Rampage and that she was bringing the baddest that 305 had to offer with her. And Jay Classic, shout outs to the birthday boy. Jay Classic on yesterday's show joked around and said, "Oh, who is she bringing? Trina?" And I guess he spoke it into existence because that is exactly who will be accompanying Diamante to the ring for this championship bout on Rampage. Jade says she will see you Friday. Trina says, "You see me now." Jade questions Hogan about her homegirl being there and things of that nature. Did she know about it? They step off. Can't wait to see what that is going to become and be on Friday. But again, like I said, AEW is coming up in the hip hop world. Coming up in the hip hop world indeed. The next match, you already know how I feel about it. It was this jerk ass Orange Cassidy, freshly squeezed, always squoze, insert picture here from wherever, Wayne, whatever, all that bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Before I get to that, selling for Jade, always selling for Jade, always selling for Jade. No sell for Orange Cassidy because I just don't like his character. I don't care if he goes in the ring or not once he gets to it. But this man looks like money. This man looks like money, You see Tupac, whatever you want to call him. He has 2 championships, one being the trios titles, of which, yeah, go ahead and check out our episode yesterday featuring Khan, because he has a little message about those trios championships, and we all kind of feel the same way. No shots, no disrespect to Death Triangle, but yes, all Atlantic Championship title defense from our guy Pac here. And as usual, Orange Cassidy is with the bullshit. He is with the games. He is with the games. No selling and selling and no selling and selling and no selling, but always being Orange Cassidy. And it's annoying. It's irritating. Um, Pac said, fuck all the bullshit. Fuck all the bullshit. When the match first started, Orange Cassidy took off his glasses and threw them at Pac so hard that they exploded off of his chest, which I'm sure pissed him off because it pissed me off. Yeah, Pac showed that he wasn't up for the shenanigans and wasn't fucking around with him and completely dog walked uh, Orange Cassidy damn near all match long. Orange Cassidy did have a few moments of where he fought back and snuck out a victory in the beginning of the match, but since then just got dogged walked until they made their way to the outside. And yeah, stumbling over to the timekeeper's table was Pac. And as you can see in his right hand, he picks up that ring bell hammer and totally decks Orange Cassidy, knocks him the hell out with that hammer, drops the hammer back onto the table. The referee sees nothing. Referees, again, I say you gotta do a better job. But I'm glad you didn't do that job here in this match because he rolls Orange Cassidy in the ring, pins him 1, 2, 3, still your all Atlantic champion. Pac, the referee's questioning him, but obviously raises his hand, gives him his championship back, and I sell for it. I popped like hell when he hit him with that hammer, and I sell for Pac still being champ because nobody wants Orange Cassidy to be a champion, at least not on his own. If there are people out there, which I'm sure there are, whatever, what is wrong with you? I'm sure Jay Classic wasn't too happy. Happy birthday to you once again, brother. I'm sure he was not happy at all with his cousin getting smacked in the face with a hammer, but shit happens. Shit happens. Can't get around from it. Afterwards, we have a fatal four-way match for the interim women AEW Women's Championship. Toni Storm defending against Serena Deeb. Athena, who came out to new music and a new look. I approve. No more wings, but she has another head that she wears on the mask or whatever. I'm down for it. The wings are gone. New theme song. I can dig it. Looking good, in good shape. Also, a part of this match was Britt Baker, and it was a very, very, very busy match. It was good for women's wrestling. Definitely check it out. Every woman looked good, even Reba or Rebel, whatever you want to call her, on the outside of the ring, getting her licks in. One day we're going to see her in an actual match. If she's had an actual match in AEW, I have not seen it. It probably took place on Dark and Elevation, and we all know that I don't watch Dark or Elevation. I probably should, and I probably will one day. Shouts out to Jay Bougie. Shouts out to Viva Van. You know what I'm saying? Getting them AEW Darks in. You know what I'm saying? Much love to the fam. Much love to the fam. But yeah, nice, good match. And it must be that time of the month because Britt Baker was bleeding, busted open the hard way, pouring from her nose, as you can see. Hopefully, it is not broken. Hopefully, it is not broken. Repeat, hopefully, it is not broken. But I'll tell you what is not broken, and that is Toni Storm's reign as interim AEW Women's Champion because she prevailed with a roll up. Even though I hate roll ups, I haven't seen them so often. So I was able to accept this for what it is. Toni Storm looks like a champion. She is given a champion's run. Hopefully, it lasts for quite some time. Well, at least until Thunder Rosa gets back and she's able to defeat her proper and be the women's champion for Shiggity for show, though. But yeah, that match got a little bit more interesting once the bell sounded. Jamie Hayter comes out once Britt Baker is beaten down. Britt Baker and Rebel beating down Athena and Toni Storm. Jamie Hayter comes out and she joins the beatdown. So I guess their drama is all over and done. Jamie Hayter says that we are best friends. We are best friends. So you got Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb, by the way, had a 2 or 3 moments in the match or spots in the match that was just amazing. She's a beast. She's a beast. Having a leg lock in and suplexing folks and all other type of stuff. Like I said, check that match out when y'all get a chance. But as the beatdown is going on, music hits, the stage hits, background video, and the crowd, the buzz, it starts going, it starts building. And hey, Tony Khan, you, my friend, did indeed deliver on having something up your sleeve. If you were not talking about this, I will consider this to be what you had up your sleeve. Because once the music hit, the crowd started to, sound like a little bit of dirt sheet talk. Boom! Out comes Soraya, however you want to pronounce it, Paige to us all. She is all elite. The crowd goes wild inside of Arthur Ashe Stadium. I got chills from the top of my head down to the bottom of my feet. I love wrestling when things are not spoiled for me. I love it. I love it. I love it. And this was not spoiled for me at all whatsoever. If you had a chance to go to LAX Fan Fest, maybe she might have spreaded the word a little bit, but who am I to say if she did or did not out here in California? But yes, Saraya is now all elite. She came out and everybody jumped out of the ring. They wanted no parts of Saraya. She blurted out, "This is my house." And I got to hit it one time for the one time. "This is my house." How she used to do when she was Paige. But she definitely says, "This is my house," a few times as she is standing in the ring for AEW. She made her debut. The ladies were standing outside looking at her in awe. She welcomes Athena and Tony Storm back into the ring and they celebrate. Throw this graphic up. Saraya is all elite, looking damn good. Looking good, looking great. Hopefully, it looks like she is here to wrestle. So that is something that I am very excited for because we miss Paige. We miss Saraya definitely in the ring. Hopefully, she is healed up to the degree of where she can perform. And I must say, and this may be a surprise. So before I say this, I'm going to go ahead and say that I sell for the match and I sell for the debut of Saraya. But as Tony Storm is our AEW World Women's Champion, and she has things going on and building up feuds, and it looks like Saraya is here to be a friend for the moment. I am kind of scared for Jade. Jade. I will say that she is going to defeat Diamante this Friday, but I think that Paige will be stepping up to Jade and that is not a victory that Jade will be having or getting. You heard it here first. Sorry to have to say it out of my mouth, but that's just what I see coming. So if it happens, like I said, you heard it here first. But I do believe that Saraya, because if she's here to be in the ring, you definitely have to push her immediately. And I do mean immediately. Hopefully, she gets into the face of Jade once more. She comes out, and yeah, she'll be the next challenger for Jade's TBS championship. It makes the most sense to me. Like I said, it sucks that I have to say that because we all know how I love Jade, but I'm thinking that it's going to happen and it's going to take place. So we shall see. Almost kind of want to be wrong just a little bit, but I don't at the same time. Yeah, we all know. We all know. But yes, ending the show out, a very good show. It is the AEW World Championship match of John Moxley versus Brian Danielson. Bullet Bulletproof Combat Club. I just sometimes I want to say the acronym, but sometimes you say the wrong acronym. Saying that William Regal did it. I've done it. Yeah, it's just a tongue twister, and you end up saying the wrong thing sometimes. Crazy. But the Blackpool, there you go. Blackpool Combat Club members are facing off with each other, and Brian Danielson was on a tear of defeating men that he had not defeated or that had defeated him in AEW. And this was the last man on the list, John Moxley. And to my surprise, and to better surprise, this match was very well, not to our surprise, but this match was very physical, very physical. Watching from above, from a penthouse suite or from a booth, from a box, was the chip holder, the devil himself, MJF, and he was entertained because early in the night, like I said, um, he said that they were not fighting to become the new champ; they were fighting to become the man to lose the championship to him. But very, very, very rough match. Very rough match indeed. Check it out. Main event worthy, obviously. John Moxley at one point hits a curb stump. Shout out to Seth Rollins and follows it with a Death Rider and only gets a 2 count. Brian Danielson was not having that at all. Uh, there was another Death Rider on the stage from John Moxley to Brian Danielson, and Brian Danielson kicks out of that as well. So I'm thinking in my head, Brian Danielson is about to become the new AEW World Champion. That is what we were led to believe. But with MJF hitting his promos every week, talking about Moxley, talking about Moxley, talking about Moxley, it was foreshadowing. But you could figure like, hey, Moxley has been in the championship scene for quite some time. Every time something happens, we put the belt on Moxley. Moxley was supposed to be going on vacation before the whole CM Punk medium scrum and after fight kicked off, with Mox dropping the belt back to him. But in a surprising turn, we get not a bulldog choke, but a choke where Moxley flattens out Brian Danielson. And yeah, Brian doesn't get pinned. Brian doesn't tap, but the referee raises his limp arm. His limp arm drops. And we have a new AEW champion in John Moxley, first ever 3-time AEW world champion. And this guy doesn't seem to be too amused, or maybe he is. MJF looking on from the box, holding his chip in his hand. I wanted for him to cash in his chip because there was reports that he could cash that chip in whenever he wants, and it will be honored, something like a Money in the Bank. Can't wait to see when that's actually going to happen, but maybe it will be at the next pay-per-view. And I say that MJF wins immediately. He wins immediately at that pay-per-view. John Moxley gets to have his vacation, obviously with some help from the firm. MJF will get that victory. And yeah, I definitely sell for this main event. And I sell, well, before I say I sell for the whole show, have to talk about this real quick. Darby Allin had a promo walking through the streets of wherever he's at with a body bag with what looks to be a body in it. Yes, yes, yes. Kayfabe, hopefully. Yeah, kayfabe. There wasn't an actual body in there, but how do you walk across the town? Get on the subway, get in a taxi, and all this walk the streets with this body bag that looks like there's a body in it and not go to jail or not get stopped or anything. It's crazy, 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 crazy. But yeah, Darby Allin is walking around with a said body in a body bag going to Arthur Ashe. He will be teaming up with Sting this Friday on Rampage, taking on the remaining members of the House of Dark, which happened to, or the House of Black, my fault, which happens to be Buddy Matthews and Brody King. So we'll see that match. Hopefully they get a victory, but who's to say that they will? I don't think so. But yeah, this episode of AEW Dynamite Grand Slam, I sell for. It was lit. It was very, very lit. Yeah, definitely when you get some time, check it out. Damn good show. And that was Sell or No Sell for AEW Dynamite Ring Night Bizzell. Yeah. The winner for this episode was AEW Dynamite. Damn good show. Damn good show. All right. Before I get up out of here, just want to open up the floor for the last match discussion. And for the last match discussion, it's going to be a real quick one because it's just an idea and a thought off of what has been reported. But before I get up out of here, let me throw up that graphic. Bow! The last match the last match. What's happening, Mark Henry? It is time for your last match. I almost said main event, but that's not what I really wanted to say. For everybody that's come through, shout outs to y'all. Shout outs to y'all, the listeners. Again, shout outs to y'all. Shout outs to y'all, Red Cup. Before the last match, I will talk about very briefly NBC Universal, a single TV company, could end up airing both WWE and AEW shows. How about that? Yo, competition. You are competing, and a television network says, you know what? I want all this. I want all the money. You know what I'm saying? I want all the control. That's crazy. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Comcast is planning on buying Warner Brothers Discovery to merge it with their existing NBC Universal brand. Here's what the report reads. Given the company's daunting challenges, it has become accepted wisdom at the highest level of the industry that another deal awaits in the wings for the Warner Brothers Discovery. For reasons related to the complicated structure of that merger, no negotiations can happen until April of 2024. But at that point, many industry observers believe that Comcast, Brian Roberts, will make a long awaited move looking to combine NBC Universal and Warner Brothers Discovery. That deal would face some interesting antitrust issues, but would give his company scale and a viable streaming service. Obviously, Peacock sucks in quotations, says one exec with knowledge of both companies. There are some good synergies. I'm sure Roberts is licking his chops because the WBD stock is so low. Not familiar with that stock. And I think that that's Zaslav's end game. What a last name. To get the place sold. This is really interesting because NBC Universal owns the USA Network where WWE Raw and WWE NXT airs. Also, if they end up buying Warner Brothers Discovery, then both WWE and AEW shows will be aired by one single TV company. During an interview on the Clicks podcast, AEW President Tony Khan was asked about the merger rumors, and below is what he had to say. I could definitely not speculate on that, and I would never speculate on that. I'm very happy. I'm very happy with what we have right now. We have this great leadership from Discovery that's come in and taken over, working with great management from Warner Brothers, and now we have this really strong company, Warner Brothers Discovery, that is the single largest creator of content in the world, and they're showcasing AEW greater than we have ever been showcased before. Now we all know how much bullshit and how much flack Tony Khan talks about WWE, which he should not, but yeah, he definitely gets it in there whenever he can. But he says also, no, not what he says, but the report continues. While NBC used to air the World Wrestling Federation's Saturday Night Main Event TV special from 1985 to 1991, I do miss Saturday Night Main Event on Channel 4. And again, under the WWE banner between 2006 to 2008, the TV channels of Warner Brothers Discoveries have quite a history with major professional wrestling products themselves. Professional wrestling aired on TBS from 1971 until 2001. Shout outs WCW. World Championship Wrestling as well, including Georgia Championship Wrestling 1971 to 1984, the World Wrestling Federation 1984 to 1985, Mid-South Wrestling, and most famously Jim Crockett Promotions / WCW from 1985 to 1988, and then 1988 to 2001. TNT, on the other hand, used to air WCW weekly flagship show WCW Monday Nitro between 1995 and 2001. Turner Broadcasting System, including both above mentioned channels, TBS and TNT, merged with Time Warner during the mid-90s and eventually ended up merging with the internet company AOL, America Online. By 2001, it became known as AOL Time Warner, which unfortunately led to WCW being sold to Vince McMahon. Years and quite a few mergers later, The company known as Warner Brothers Discovery gave Tony Khan's All Elite Wrestling a chance on their major channel TNT since 2019 and TBS since 2022. That is very interesting. If that merger were to take place in 2024, along with the bid for MJF in 2024, it could lead to two wrestling companies that are competition working together, because we all know how the wrestling companies, for the most part, have to listen to the executives of the TV channel. So it's very interesting, unless WWE goes back to their WWE network subscriptions and starts airing all of their channels on there and there only, getting out of the TV deal. That would be interesting. But we got a whole year and a half until the possibilities of that may happen. I'm sure we will hear a whole lot about that as time moves along. But I think that maybe it would be good for professional wrestling. Just maybe. Maybe. Who knows? But yeah, that has been AEW Royal Grand Slam Smark Psychology episode 15, King Mac Dynamite. Check these comments real quick. Clark Street Wrestling Podcast says, what's good? Just tapping in. What's going on, family? What's going on, family? They also say, I can see that merger happen since Comcast stock has dropped the past 6 months. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting if it happens, because I can figure that we're gonna get a very bratty Tony Khan on how he doesn't want to do this and doesn't want to do that, as it is involved with WWE. But you know, shit happens. It's gonna happen. We'll see. But yeah, man, wrestling is a lifeline. It's a whole community. Shouts out to wrestling Twitter wrestling. Although MJF just buried y'all a little bit, saying that y'all promote people that shouldn't be promoted and things of that nature. But he ain't doing nothing but bringing more and more eyes to the indie scene and things of that nature. New Japan Pro Wrestling, other companies of which everybody is promoting, PCW, BCW, you know what I'm saying, fam and everything. You're looking out, MJF, for having people come over to Twitter and check out what you are against. But yeah, dope. And this was AEW Dynamite. For all y'all out there in audio land, shout outs to you. For all y'all out there in visual land, shout out. Excuse me, shout outs to y'all as well. Something trying to choke me. I think it might be WM Morrissey. One red cup and one red cup only to give out for today, and that is to the birthday man, the birthday boy, the birthday brother of mine, Jay Classic. Celebrate that young 3-1, you know what I'm saying? Turn up. Everybody out there on YouTube, subscribe, hit that notification bell, you know what I'm saying, so that you know when the next episode is coming through our usual schedule, unless things come up. Sunday, you get me and you get J Classic. Monday, you get the Raw Classics with just J Classic. Tuesdays, you get the tandem once again, the Smark Bros, King Mac, MIILI, and J Classic. And then on Wednesdays, you get straight royalty. But you know what I'm saying? Follow us on Twitter at Smark Psych Pod. Follow us on Instagram at Smark Psychology. Follow us on Facebook at Smark Psychology Podcast. If you're on YouTube, just scroll down to the description. There's links for everything. If you're on Facebook, maybe you'll see the links for everything. If you just scroll on down. For all of y'all out there in audio land, or for all of y'all that would like to join audio land, feel free. Go ahead and follow us and listen to us on Spotify and on Anchor and on Apple Podcasts as well. Those links are down below. Get up in the description and check them out though. And on all of those platforms, y'all already know what to do. Comment, like, share, you know what I'm saying? Get psyched and join the Smark side. You can build me because, you know, who wants to be, who doesn't want to be a Smark, you know? Well, everybody's a Mark. Nobody wants to be a Mark. You want to mark out, but you don't want to be a Mark. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We got some things cooking up. As a matter of fact, before I get up out of here, let's go ahead and throw this image up one more time. Check out the episode from yesterday featuring AEW's own and Ring of Honor's own ROH Khan. Gates of Agony came through and blessed the pod yesterday. Next week we come to you and we bring you another one. Another one. Special guest, September 27th, the Suplex Queen herself, Tiny Tonali, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm looking to get suplexed. So if y'all want to see me get suplexed live on air, I guarantee you it's gonna happen. Y'all tune in and y'all see that take place. Cause yeah, the Suplex Queen is gonna suplex the king, and it's gonna be a damn good interview. I know y'all wondering like, how the hell is she gonna suplex you? Y'all just gotta tune in and see. But you already know who it is. It is the value that allows you the opportunity to roll with me. You see the $1 Million Championship belt signed by the $1 Million Man himself. You see the crown right here, the king signed by another king, not once but twice. Let's see if I can find it. There it is, Booker T, and also on the inside, King Booker. It's I, King Mac MIILI, sitting on the throne of smart psychology, and I thank y'all for joining the show. Until next week, yeah. Peace out.